This is POC. This is RICO against the company ARCO. And this is a demon that's stalking with the entity that's following by planes up Euclid Avenue. So coming in, engaging in what is light activity. And Chevron and Starbucks and all the rest of the businesses, in other words, the entity itself is gang stalking while a demon is engaged in that. This is the POC. This is a co-conspirator of murder. And this is a demon also. This is mental illness. This is that public corruption. And this is the entity that is gang stalking through the people of the state. All right. This is POC while they're acting so as an entity. ARCO is headquartered in LA also. So ARCO is making money that it's not going to keep. And ARCO's engaged in criminally in the pattern of conduct, including while the demons are engaged in studying their devices, just stalking at a gas stall. That's the same pattern of conduct where the airport is stalking right here at the, and the city of Ontario is stalking at the, as I've shown, from sunrise till sunset, by the way, under that fake sun by commercial planes. License 9 Bob Charlie Thomas 618. And this is the city of Upland. This is the employer. I already documented him. This is all the pattern of conduct. I'm just identifying demons. This is the pattern of conduct that is in Ontario, and the entity is following into the city of Upland. Stalking. These are the demons that are being defunded regarding terrorism, not receiving any government assistance, and they will need government assistance, and they're not going to get it. It is better for the public that the entity that is engaged in terrorism actually reach the point of homelessness so that they are never in any position to, which is what they are doing, engaging in terrorism, and having somewhere to hide out, having somewhere to return to, and even maintaining what is a means of the appearance of normalcy, going back to their home, gang stalking, and then going back to their home where they're engaged in that pattern of conduct as a community at that. This is the POC. It's currently 6:10 a.m. This is psychopathic pacing while they're going back and forth, paying back and forth to the gas stalls, light activity, turning on their vehicles, joining at the underneath. This is all the pattern of conduct while psychopathic pacing along Euclid Avenue. This is what this is. Alrighty, this is license plate. And these are demons. So you're looking at what is just ongoing mechanical behavior. 7ZDD666. While they're being prosecuted, 8CRH790. These are the people of the state that are suicidal, going into Ontario, gang stalking me in Upland. This is how triggered the entity is. And they're engaging in stalking conduct, knowing that they're being documented. No sane people are gang stalking, but also no sane entity is providing evidence against the entire, it's not just these idiots that are being prosecuted. This is the entity that's engaging in that pattern of conduct. 9VRN317 and the business, and it's not just this business, all right? This is the city of Ontario, 5RNC810. This is POC. And this is the ARCO employee giving his contribution to activity. Already have his license plate. They're serially engaging in the pattern of conduct that's already prison. And it's also deportation if this applies. I suspect that it may apply. Deportation universally. But this is the pattern of conduct. It's activity creation. POC, ARCO making money off of gang stalking. Okay? POC. You'll recall the documentation of what Starbucks is doing. Ocean sitting at the front, keeping her back. The employee going in the bathroom in Ontario International Airport, pacing over that's Starbucks right there. ARCO is gang stalking the entire time. ARCO is a part of the criminal pattern of conduct. This is POC. All right, and this is the mentally ill that are engaging in what is gang stalking someone while consuming it. And this is a picture of what is obsession, while it is feigning what is disinterest and literally absent of your knowledge of your presence. But then you're looking at the fake sun that's here from sunrise until sunset. That is literally the corrupt entity that's engaged in what is deliberate, intentional, and malicious conduct designed to murder someone else, kidnap someone else. License 7 Henry 72550 POC. ARCO is going to be prosecuted as a terrorist. ARCO is not this ARCO in Ontario is obviously not the only one. ARCO has a pattern of conduct, a documented pattern of conduct with the people of the state in the state of California. And ARCO is a means of what is blatantly stalking. The company is stalking, and the company's demon-possessed patrons are stalking. And that's what you're looking at right now. POC. The entity that's stalking at the Wells Fargo is engaging in the pattern of conduct. The ARCO that's the entity that's stalking me in Upland by commercial planes and by the Ontario Fire Department, and doing so by helicopter as I'm documenting, it's stalking. This is the same pattern of conduct. This is POC. They maintain presence, and they're doing so with regard to what is a federal RICO case, because businesses are sharing in that pattern of conduct, and this is supposed to be cloaking. Everyone's here and no one knows what's going on, and they're all engaged in the pattern of conduct, especially when the fake sun is over all of them and they're pumping up their gas in the specific environment while the entity's stalking by plane and helicopter as well, in the middle of the day where the sun would not remain, especially when it's in Upland, California. Okay? Then you're getting to what is the entity that is desperately engaging in what is stalking. 9XFE059, 7ZRV973. And this is ARCO that's being documented. Like I said, all the companies are. Starbucks is not the only one being documented while the entity was flying over plane by plane and doing cartwheels over the Unicare Community Center while I was in that parking lot. ARCO was monitoring the entire time. Monitoring with minor children is 9XFE059. Engaged in federal stalking with minors. License 9VRN317. And they're all monitoring with minors. It's not just the minors that are in her car. They're all engaged in that criminal activity together. They're all going to be prosecuted together, including ARCO. All the ways in which they are a threat. Pumping up their gas and then filling up their tire. This is the entity that maintains presence in this way. Let me get the rest of these license plates. This is crossing path. And the City of Ontario's crossing path as well by City of Ontario using a smaller plane, 9TIH520. These are the mentally ill that are gang stalking, and gang stalking is over with. They're going to prison, and domestic terrorists are being deported. They're not keeping custody of kids. They are not getting any support, and they are being federally prosecuted as terrorists. That's what's literally going on the record. Violent sex offenders, 8JYG750, and the entire City of Ontario has been in this manner, while an entire population is proven to be engaging in a pattern of conduct. This is it. That's all over the apartment complex. They're all monitoring together. 8ZSH218, and this is the entity that's doing so. That's not sunlight, and 6 hours from now the sun is not going to be over this same venue, but that's what I've documented with regard to what is a population that is gang stalking. All right, that's this P.O.C., and these are the mentally ill that are a threat to the public. With this same disregard, this nonchalant demeanor, they're engaged in criminal activity against the people that are being targeted in the country. This is Chevron at 506 North Euclid Avenue. This is ARCO at 434 North Euclid Avenue, P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently 6:15 a.m. And this is the entity that is maintaining this specific environment. As you can see, the engineer light, the entity that is and my documentation already shows sunrise till sunset with this environment, including with the people of the state using their commercial vehicles as light activity, while the entity is engaged in flying in circles. This is all of this carnival circus nonsense is documented while 7ZRV973, 5RNC810, and 7H72550 and the employee are all sharing in what is criminal presence in the path. And as they come one after another, one customer after another, this is a federal RICO case. This is establishing the basis of RICO. This is also establishing the basis of what is the mentally ill behavior pattern. It's light activity, relevant positioning, and audible activity. That while they're engaged in federal stalking, and the entity is stalking as one, maintaining presence, including by the employee. And it's all state action. The government has no warrant or probable cause. And the entity is psychopathic, okay? Just like you saw yesterday while I'm standing on that sidewalk, and the Ontario International Airport, and engineer light, where you can see the shadow of the light signals. That's not sunlight. And you're looking at what is in your face monitoring, okay? They're also monitoring vagina. While they're filling up their gas tank and spending money, these are sex offenders and they're stalkers. This is the pattern of conduct, and they're engaging in what is mentally ill behavior, and they're doing so while businesses are profiting from it, and this is exactly what is not going to happen. All right, so the entity is going to be stripped and defunded in every regard, and every business and every household, even the demon-possessed homeless, are going to be federally prosecuted while they're sharing in the government's pattern of conduct. It is currently, like I stated, 6:17 a.m. This is the pattern of conduct. When you're looking at the entity targeting, you're looking at all of the environment, not just the psychopaths that are gang stalking you in your face as though nothing is happening, like ARCO is engaging in. They're doing so in an environment that is irreconcilable. That's light activity, where the shadow of the vehicles are creating a flashing of light, which is impossible, while 5RNC810 studies his device. He's a demon, and he's a violent sex offender, gang stalking, and furtherance of murder. There is no iteration where that's natural light activity. So this is the P.O.C. Here's my person walking in the light, and you saw everybody over here that's just engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct. Here's the fake sun that's on this side over here. This is what you're paying attention to. These are demons. And it's for your education, the entertainment of the demon-possessed, watching themselves being prosecuted. This is the entity that's stalking by airplanes in Upland, California. It's the same demented character, the same ill mindset when you are proven, and this is the entity that is entertained by its own demise. These are demons that are suicidal. These are demons that are indeed targeting you. And they're highly unintelligent while I show you all the ways in which you are very much clear that you are being targeted and under surveillance. 5RNC810 is going to be prosecuted, and if that's an immigrant, they will be happily deported. And it's not just him, it's the entire household. You bring the feds home to the entire household and to the neighborhood. This is P.O.C. It is currently 6:19 a.m. This is indeed ARCO that's being prosecuted while Engineer Light is on the property. Speaking to what is targeting by the demons on the street. AWAP 313 is gang stalking indeed. Okay, and this is the fake son that's in Upland, on the sidewalk, gang stalking. Doesn't matter how old and how many liver spots they have, they're all engaging in the same satanic conduct because Satan doesn't have an age. Okay, license 45185 Edward 2, POC. And Ocean and Amelia and Patty and Brian and all the demons inside of Starbucks are going to federal prison still. This is the POC. I'm prosecuting them inside of the building. I'm prosecuting them outside of the venue. I'm prosecuting them in Ontario. I'm prosecuting them in Upland, in Fontana, in Pomona, in San Bernardino. Those demons are going to federal prison. And the entity that's going to Upland, California, gang stalking me, are putting their own co-defendants in Starbucks, for example, in federal prison. This is POC. You're not doing anything other than monitoring with that inexplicable, irreconcilable light activity under a fake sun, where the government is stalking. This is the entity that's going into Upland, engaging in the pattern of conduct. That was UPS, and that is United Airlines. And that is at what is 6:20 a.m. And it's over here because I'm not at Starbucks, because yesterday when I'm at Starbucks, you'll see the planes taking off right here over the Unicare, engaging what is cartwheels over this building over here, stalking. Engaging in no specific destination, hovering and doing cartwheels. And this is where they're going to prison. That's a stalker in a white van, looking like a kidnapper. 40430U3, a Latino male looking like a kidnapper, okay? With the geezers on the sidewalk, gang stalking, okay? Filling up with their prescriptions and gang stalking early in the morning, okay? That's the POC. This is the beast system, and the demon-possessed are not intelligent. All right, this is the video documentation that's establishing all of the policies that I stated. The entity is being defunded. All resources of the government that are funding terrorists are going to be stripped back. These are terrorists that are not receiving any. These are enemies that are in the country. Understand, Osama bin Laden, that's a part of the population in this country. Okay, so not a foreign terrorist, but a domestic terrorist, equally engaged in targeting American citizens and doing it with the government. That is understanding the significance in your mind. Understand, if the president of the United States is engaging what is targeting American citizens, the president of the United States, that's supposed to be our leader, our representation, right, is actually attacking us. That's a domestic enemy. And you are prosecuting, you are engaging in what is warfare with an enemy that is amongst us. This is what is happening. Legally speaking, this is the framework. And the entities engage in this where you can clearly identify it in an environment. And ARCO is an enemy while they are making money off of gang stalking American citizens. And that's exactly how I'm going to prosecute them. And ARCO's not doing it by itself. They're co-defendants right across the street, like I'm giving an example, because I'll prosecute the city of Ontario with what ARCO is doing. And it's criminal. It's POC. It's currently 6:21 a.m. This is POC. It's the same pattern of conduct. Commercial airline planes and the city of Ontario maintaining psychopathic pacing aerial surveillance. License plate 6EZM188, driving through Engineer Light that's in the street. Pay attention to the side of the car. Impossible light activity. And then you saw the impossible light activity over here where their shadows are appearing. That's impossible. These are demons that are stalking. They're monitoring. And it's highly unintelligent. And the entity maintains aerial surveillance while that is underway. And this is the same light activity conduct at nightfall, replete with what you've already seen, the circus of the Ontario Police Department and the Ontario International Airport, the planes and the helicopters, engaging in the demons ritual, which has gotten them, manifested them, exposure and prosecution as terrorism, as terrorists, domestic terrorists, that are going to be treated as the enemies that they are. And enemies in this country are not getting in. And number one, off the top, you're not getting any government assistance, not a dime. In any form, you're not getting any assistance. Not even their demon-possessed children. This is POC. It is currently 6:22 a.m.